If you ever feel like you are not making progress towards a goal, I'm going to teach you a simple process of evaluation today. It's going to take you from feeling like you're floundering to feeling clear and motivated and ready to achieve your goal, to take the next steps. So, I'm Missy Hughes. I am a productivity coach and I teach you how to get things done. Go to the link in the comments of this video to download my free guide for evaluation that will go right along with this video. So, if you have an idea of something that you'd like to achieve, something that you'd like to grow towards, something that you'd like to have in your life, hopefully you've created a goal. If not, I can help you with that. But when you've got this goal, hopefully you've created a plan. Hopefully that plan includes a clear idea of how to get this chunk done and then that chunk, and then that'll lead you to this chunk, right? And hopefully each step is doable. You can see yourself how to do it and make that happen. You may need to learn things along the way. You don't have to know everything to achieve a goal, to make a plan, to create doable steps, but hopefully those things are in place. So if so, what goes wrong? What happened? Why aren't you just moving along? Life happens. The unpredictability of life as we live it does not adhere to our plan. That's what happens. And sometimes when you have a plan and you get off the plan, then it can be really hard to get back on. So, if like for me this week, my son didn't go to school 2 days this week because of the weather. So, just the entire school was canceled. Next week, he probably will not go into the school building at all. So that's whatever plan I have is changed because my circumstances have changed. So that happens all the time, right? A loved one gets sick. You get sick. Something amazing happens. The sun comes out when you haven't seen it in 17 days in a row. These things happen and you want to be present for them. Someone you love is sick, you want to be able to help them. If you're sick, you want to be able to heal. There are good things that are happening, you want to be able to take advantage of them. You want to be able to be present in these things. So, but sometimes they take you from your goal. Does that mean you don't want your goal anymore? Does that mean you've lost your focus? It doesn't necessarily. It doesn't have to mean that. So, a lot of times when life happens, we have to roll with the punches. That's called being resilient. When you're able to shift things and make some changes and then keep going and it doesn't knock you off track. Resiliency allows you to keep moving forward. So, what happens there though that gets in the way of that resiliency? A lot of times when we're knocked off plan, it feels really hard to get back on. And you're like, I don't know that this is worth it. I'm off, bag it. I'm staying off the plan. Or maybe you feel like it's a failure. Oh, I'm off. I failed this goal. I can't do it. I can't achieve it. I'm going to, again, stay off the plan. Or maybe you get off the plan and then you're like really rigid. I got to get back on plan. I got to get back in business. And so you overwork and you like hustle it through with stress and all this anxiety about getting the things done, getting back on the plan, getting back on track. But you're not present in your life during those moments and you're definitely not enjoying your goal, right? So in these sort of situations, you often may fall into judgment. So, what judgment looks like is, oh, you're off plan, you're doing it wrong. It's not worth it. You're not worth it. You can't do it. You're off plan, you can't achieve it. You're not capable. It's not going to work. Or you are a slacker. You got off the plan, you got off the goal. You better get back in gear or it's all going to just, it's out, right? So you got to punish yourself. You got to hurry. You got to hustle. You got to make it up. Um, what these thoughts, kind of this judgment gives you is some really negative emotions. I'm overwhelmed. I'm incapable. I am misdirected. I'm disconnected. Um, I'm panicked. I'm stressed. I'm rushed. All of those feelings, those emotions, they're first of all, they come from this really broad place of you're doing it wrong and you can't do it right. And you don't have details leading you where to go. The feeling is harsh and it's disconnected. You're not really connected to your goal anymore, but you're also kind of making yourself wrong, so you're not really connected to you. And it leads to either bagging it in action, or it leads to this bare minimum rushed, hustly action that's probably messy. When I'm in a rush, I'm always hurting myself. I'm breaking things. I'm having to redo things because it doesn't go well. So what you're creating is you're not building the skill that gets you to your goal. You're not connected to yourself. And so you're not connected to your goal. You're connected to those feelings of stress or worry or incapable or overwhelm. So here's the solution. You want to pause and take a look at where you are. When you've gotten off track, you've gotten off track. That's all it has to mean. It doesn't have to mean you're not worthy of the track. It doesn't mean you can't do it. It just means something happened. Life happened. You are thought you were going to be here. You're actually here. So let's take a look and see what that looks like. So you take that look around, you adjust, and then you move forward. You stay connected. The way to do that is with evaluation. So there are 3 areas of evaluation that I want to teach you. The first, and this is very simple, and you can really do this in a very short amount of time. Number 1, and this is important that it is the first step, is take a look at what went well. What's going well towards your goal? Maybe you look at a 1 week, maybe you're looking just in general, wherever you're evaluating. Maybe it's today. How did the work go today? How did the work go last week? How did the work go? How is my goal going in general? What's going well? The reason you want to do this first is you want your mind to start looking for details that are in a positive light. You want to release the stress, because when you're judging, when you're stressed, when you're overwhelmed, it shuts down your creativity. So when you're in that stress zone, you're just trying to survive. You're not trying to create solutions. So the whole goal of this is to create solutions. So number 1, start with what's going well. That's going to give you a sense of what you want to keep doing in that zone. What's going well, I want to keep going, maybe build on. So number 1, create a list. What's going well? Number 2, what's not going well? You want to be detailed. What didn't go well is when this happened, I did this instead of the plan. The plan was a good idea, but it didn't work in this circumstance, or whatever it might be. Whatever your goal is, I want you to know this can apply to health goals, financial goals, business goals, education goals, anything that you're working on, you can use this process. So what's not going well, look for the details. The thing that's great about this is you're not trying to sweep them under the rug and ignore the bad part. Oh, I'm terrified of the bad stuff. Don't tell me I'm doing it wrong, because then I'll just get sucked in and lose it. No, we're not sweeping this under the rug. We're just taking a look at it. What's not going well? Oh, it didn't go well. My son didn't go to school. So where I thought I had this time to really be focused, He's running around, interrupting all the things, right? So it's making it visible. You're not sweeping it under the rug, but you're also not making it a catastrophe. This isn't the worst case scenario here. It's just simply what didn't go well. So number 3 is, what do I want to do differently? This is where you can make some adjustments. Okay, in my case, my son isn't in school, how do I want to adjust my plan? If my son is in school, the plan goes like this. If my son is not in school, the plan goes like that. I can make adjustments. You may, like in the case of being sick, if you have to take some time off, then it doesn't mean you have to double your time so then you get sick again. It means I'm going to refocus, I'm going to reconfigure, I'm going to reconfigure my timeline, maybe. So the impact of this process of evaluation is enormous. There are a lot of places where this is going to be really amazing for you. Number 1, it gives you details of what to keep. It gives you details of what you want to avoid in the future or shift. It gives you a sense of clarity about what to do. So instead of bagging it, you pause, reconfigure. What do I want to keep? What do I want to change? How am I going to do it? You get to feel in control of what you're in control of. I'm not in control of the weather. Certainly not. I'm not in control of the school district's decisions regarding the weather. But what I am in control of is the time that I have in evaluating it realistically. You're taking a real look at where you are, not where you should be, not where you want to be, but where you actually are. And you're creating the how to go forward from where you stand realistically. Not from a panicked place or a doomsday place, but from an actual place. It doesn't have to be emotional. You just are right here. Here I am. If I'm sick, I am sick. I have germs. If I'm sick, my immune system needs to be supported, and I'm going to do that in this way, this way, and this way, right? It doesn't have to be emotional, even if you're feeling emotions. I'm not saying emotions are wrong. When you evaluate, it just can be neutral. Okay, I got off plan. Okay, now what? You get to build resilience. You get to build that skill of rolling with the punches. You get to build self-trust. You get to build the skill of saying, you're not, it doesn't make me wrong to get off plan. It makes me still connected to get back to business. You're not punishing yourself when things go sideways. You're just reconfiguring. So you also get to build the skill that you're trying to build to get the goal. So when you get out of connection, you're all of a sudden, you're not building skills. You're just checking boxes or not checking boxes, right? What you want is to build a skill that takes you to an evolution of yourself, that takes you to some sort of transformation. If I'm the person who wants to make more money than I'm making right now, or to have better health markers, or to have deeper connections in my relationships, that's just, I have to evolve a little bit, because what I'm doing before now got me to here. What I'm doing now is going to get me to there. So when you get disconnected, when you're either like bag it or rushing through, you're disconnected to the goal, to that transformation, to that evolution of who you are. So when you evaluate and you take a real snapshot of where you are and you make real adjustments with details, then you get to stay on that evolution path. You get to continue that transformation. So all of this, it's simple. The evaluation process shouldn't take more than half an hour, if that. You can make this happen in 10 minutes easily. So when you think about the evaluation process. If you've ever kind of gone off the rails and let your mind go crazy and let your mind spin about how you've been off the rails, you'll know it takes longer than 10 minutes. A lot of times we get off of our goals for days, weeks, certainly hours. So take 10 minutes to just pause, figure it out, reconfigure, and go. So use the link in the comments to download my free guide for evaluation. And happy evaluating. Let's go get some things done.